Hello everybody, Son of Richard with the records I played today. Well, actually, it's the records I played last night after shooting some episodes of 2 Minute Dick with Ben Rankins and Cosmic Brian. After those, I came inside and played some records. And the first one I played was Suicide. This is their album. Now, most people know this as the cover. This is a Canadian press. And I believe it came out a year after. It might have came out in 1978. And it does include one bonus track. I only played side one of this. It starts out, Ghost Rider, it's fantastic, man. It's just a keyboard guy. It's a keyboard guy and another guy sings. You know, I should know the names of these guys, but I don't remember. Yeah, whatever. Really cool. Very primitive. The first song is pretty hard hitting. The other ones after that are a little mellower. I mean, they're not mellow like James Taylor mellow, but really good album, man. And I followed that up with It's Casual. Now, when I lived in Bell Gardens, there was a record store in Whittier, on Whittier Boulevard. It actually might have been on the edge of Montebello. And they had two records by this band. And I figured, you know, it looks pretty interesting, you know. It's a two-man band. And they were both on this really nice colored vinyl. And I picked up one of them. I wish I would have got both. And the next time I went back to that store, I did look, but it was gone. I don't know nothing about this band. I've never looked them up or anything. You kind of, you know, you see the drummer and the guitar player, you think maybe White Stripes, but no, these guys are more hardcore. Very hardcore guitars and vocals, and very good drumming. I really dug this album, man. Very good listen. Then I went a little bit different. I went with the Dictators, Go Girl Crazy, their debut album. And this is a fun, early punk, I guess some would say proto-punk, but not really, man, because it's 77. Well, 75. So, yeah, you could say proto-punk, I guess. But that East Coast, man, I mean, you had Patti Smith, her first album came out in 75. I consider that a punk album. I consider this a punk album. And this was in the punk rock section back when it was released, back in the 70s. And this is a fun album, man. The Next Best Thing. Now, the second song is I Got You, Babe. That's probably the dodgiest song on the album, but it's pretty good, man. It's pretty fun. But yeah, this is a good listen. And then I pulled out this one that I didn't really play this much when it came out, when I got it. And it's the Middle Class, their album Homeland. And this sounds kind of like 100 Flowers. I don't know. I know some people will be aware of that band. But those that aren't, it's kind of like punk rock in the vein of Joy Division. This album came out in 82. But don't think these guys are like Joy Division, one of the copycats, you know, the hundreds that there were. These guys were around in the 70s. In fact, They came out with the very first American hardcore record. Their 7-inch, it came out in 77, I believe. But yeah, this is a really good. It's different than that single. Really prominent bass, like that, you know, that post-punk sound kind of. Very punky though. And then I followed it up with the Stepmothers. And I hadn't heard this in a while. And I remember I had a few albums on this Posh Boy. This was when Posh Boy first started, this was their sleeve that they came out with. It's the one that the debut of Red Cross, and Pumping Vinyl just got a copy of the Red Cross first record with this sleeve. And this is very catchy. This reminds me of Coco, be quiet, please. This reminds me of the kind of music that Ryan Kidd plays on his channel. You know, very catchy. You know, makes you want to pop your head. You know, this reminded me of Ryan Kidd, man. And when I bought this, and I used to love it, I didn't know Ryan Kidd. I don't even think he was born. No, he wasn't even born yet. But yeah, very catchy song. It's 45 RPM, and when you first put the needle down, you think, oh, fuck, it's on the wrong speed, you know? But then you realize, no, it's the right speed. Very good. Then another one in that kind of the similar vein is the Dickies. This is Stukas Over Disneyland. This was their third release, and this came out after Chuck Wagon passed away. And I believe this has the very last recordings with Chuck Wagon in the band. And he's playing drums, of all things. When I saw them, he would play keyboards, guitar, and I believe saxophone in maybe one song. But yeah, this is cool. It's got a really good cover of Communication Breakdown by Led Zeppelin. I mean, they pump up the speed on that. And a really good version of Pretty Please Me. I followed that up with a classic album. An album I remember seeing in the 80s, and I never bought. I wish I would have. This is a recent reissue, and I recommend this if you're into 80s punk. Now, this wasn't sourced from the original tapes. The original tapes were destroyed by a disgruntled member of the band. I believe this was recorded off of a near mint record, maybe a cassette, but I think it was recorded off of a record. And it sounds really good, man. I know it's not going to be as good as the originals, but yeah, this is a really good band. They're kind of gritty, but very fast. This is available for the first time in more than 30 years. Kurt Cobain's 32nd favorite album of all time. Now this band, they get credited as being an influence on the grunge scene. There's a lot of LA bands that kind of pre-grunge but they're not grunge. They do have, some of the songs have that a little bit, but most of them are a lot faster. And the thing about this that stands out, the opening track is Hound Dog. And it's a pretty weird way to start the album. I wouldn't suggest a band, a punk band, any band, covering Hound Dog, unless you're a 1950s cover band, you know? But they do, it doesn't sound like the Elvis version at all, but it's just still a weird choice. Especially compared to the other songs, man. They're so great. Great guitars on this, man. And then I followed that up with Real Enemy. This is a band from Pittsburgh. And it's on Mind Cure Records. Oh, you can see right here. Mind Cure 83. Now, this label released, I don't know how many, but they were cassette-only releases. And the album cover is a picture of the cassette. You know, this is the front. This would have been what you see, and this was like the flap in the back right there. This sounds like the 1980s, early 80s, mid 80s Mystic Records kind of sound that from Southern California. Very good stuff, man. I enjoyed this. I have 3 records that are from this series. I don't know if they made any more, but if they did, I should probably look into it. And then I played this Dr. No record. Now, I just did a video, And I talked about Dr. No. I showed the album that came out after this. And this is the one, This Island Earth. I think I mentioned this record. I think I said it was Into the Unknown, but it's not. It's This Island Earth. This is fantastic. And this is the one where the first song has keyboards in it. And it really doesn't fit. But after that, it's like, it's fantastic. Now, this band kind of has two phases. It has the first phase where the vocalist Brandon Cruz did the singing. He was the kid on The Courtship of Eddie's Father. And then this one has Kyle Tutcher on lead guitar and vocals. They do, a lot of the songs on here are ones that were recorded earlier with Brandon Cruz. You got Plug in Jesus, Burn, In That House. Just, this is a cleaner version of the earlier stuff. In fact, I would recommend people checking this out. People like Robert, what's his channel? Robert's On My Turntable, I think it's his channel is. I'll leave a link maybe to his channel. He kind of more into the normal music, classic rock. There's your name. And I think he would like this. I mean, it's sped up. It's a 1980s thrash, but it's not thrash. This is better than thrash, dude. And yeah, I think people would really dig this. Check this one out, man. Dr. No. And I finished it up with this album by 45 Grave, Autopsy. Now, when this album came out, I didn't like it that much. The songs, a lot of the songs are played very fast. And I thought, man, 45 Graves really, really being influenced by the speed metal thing. But no, I was wrong. This is like a compilation. And all those songs, those really fast songs, are early song recordings by them that were never released. And they actually had Pat Smear in the band from the Germs, who went on to Foo Fighters and Nirvana and then Foo Fighters. He plays on a lot of the songs on here. And then it also has Party Time, maybe their most popular or most famous song. It was in the movie Return of the Living Dead. It's got Surf Bat, like a surf song. And then it's got Black Cross, which was their first 7-inch. It's got Wax, which is the B-side of the 7-inch. And I think Pat Smear actually played on that. And then it's got riboflavin flavored, non-carbonated, polysaturated blood, which was a song that was on a compilation. But yeah, this is really good. Very fast. And I'm digging it, man. And that's all I played. Take care, everybody. Time to go to bed. Good night. Final community.